What's up everybody, it's Novice and I'm back with another video. So today I'm gonna go over building an Active Directory environment so that we can actually get into practicing red teaming, a little bit of red teaming. But the goal of this video, to make short and sweet, is to pretty much build out the domain controller and then build a workstation that can actually connect to the domain, and then finally create users and groups that we can test on. So hopefully we can get all of those done, but if we don't, we'll just split them up into different videos. So I'm not gonna waste too much time and I'll just hop right into it. So hopefully you guys can see my screen now. Now my intention, like I said, we're gonna build out a domain controller, then we are going to do the workstation, and then build out the user groups within the Active Directory environment. So as you guys can see, I'm using VM workstation, 16 player. Now for the actual domain controller, I'm going to be using an evaluation version of Windows Server 2025, and that is what I am going to do. If you guys are looking for it, you can do a quick Google search and then kind of have to sign up for it, but then you actually get the ISO and we can get started. So let's do this, create a new virtual environment. Let's go ahead and browse, boom, open that up. Let's click on next, to Microsoft Windows, of course. So here, let's see if we can play around with it. We'll do Windows Server 19, see if that actually tricks it a little bit. This one, let's give it a cool little name. What should it be? I guess my first domain. You know, not the coolest name, but it works. Next, maximum disk size. Yeah, that's fine. Let's click on next. Finish. Let me edit a little bit. I'm just going to change the RAM to 4 gigabytes. See if we can move things along a little faster. And okay. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to work because, like I said, I got the 2025 Windows Server. This one's actually 2019, but let's try to play it and see what happens. Oh, looks like it's going through. So in case this takes long, I might cut it up and then split, but who knows, maybe it's gonna come up really quick and I don't have to do that. All right, my language, English, that's what I like to see. Yep. That's fine. I agree. Next. All right, we're getting a few things ready. I'm gonna get the desktop experience because I believe that's the GUI version. I know some people are gonna use the command line interface only. I'm not there. I will use the GUI. It's easy to set up that way, honestly. Let's press next and keep going. I'll just go ahead and accept without reading. Hopefully they didn't have anything in there about me selling my soul or anything like that. I think we should be good. Alright, let's install. Victory. Alright, so hopefully this installs quick. If it doesn't, like I said, I'll cut it up and then move it along. But while this is happening, I'll give a brief explanation about how I'm gonna go about doing this. So after this, we're gonna pretty much set up what is known as the Active Directory domain services. Now, whenever you download a server, it doesn't automatically make it the domain controller, but you actually have to get the Active Directory domain services, and that's how you then convert it into the domain controller. Not only that, we'll have to set a static IP address because as a domain controller, you need all of your all of the following computers, laptops, whatever they might be that are connected to your domain to know where to go to actually like log in, get authentication information. and that cannot be changing constantly. So I have to set a static IP address for that as well. And then after that, we're gonna set up the workstation, and then we're gonna come back to the domain controller. And using PowerShell and JSON, I'll be honest, I was inspired by John Hammond. Shout out to you. Honestly, huge inspiration for the channel. We're gonna use those to build out a few groups and a few users that we can hopefully hack in the future. But yeah, that's the game plan. But we're moving, we're making progress. Sometimes people call this the boring part, and honestly I understand it's a setup process, but after this we can kind of just get into the fun stuff. Also, when we're doing these Active Directory projects, I'm also going to be referencing something called vulnAD, which is pretty much a GitHub which has information on how to actually create vulnerable users, vulnerable groups. I believe Kerberos thing, ASR, I forgot how to say it, ASRE, it's a lot of attacks, and I will be referencing that from time to time, and I'm probably going to use that to get some of the commands that I'll be using to create the users and the groups as well. See, this little time has actually been helpful. I get to explain to you guys what's actually going on, so you guys don't think I'm a crazy person while I'm going through this. Because with this one, kind of just do it and then figure it out. And honestly, that's the type of way that I like it. And I feel like if you're anyone who's trying to get into like pen testing or anything, that's kind of how you should. Because, you know, sometimes you just get thrown into a place and then got to figure it out from there. Oh, and this environment might not reflect a real environment and its security posture, because this is pretty much a playground for us to actually get stuff set up. In the future, we'll also be coming into this specific environment to try to defend it from some of the attacks we were able to pull off prior, and then try again with different techniques. So it's gonna be a constant building moment. Let's try to retry this. Looks like it's not gonna make this go through. Alright, and now I'm back like I never left. So as you guys saw, I ran out of disk space, so I had to make some room, and now everything looks like it's going according to plan, so gotta continue to wait until we get this done. Then, like I said, once that happens, I'm gonna set a static IP. Then we're gonna start gonna set a static IP. I might actually do the workstation setup first before creating an Active Directory environment with this one here. Actually, while this is going on, I might just pause it and then show you guys once it actually comes all the way through, because looking at this, don't know how long this is gonna take. Oh, see, sometimes you just gotta talk and then it just works, you know. It's like when you're a kid and you're talking to your game, I don't even want to play you, and then it's like, oh, you don't want to play me, but please play me, and then, you know, it just shows up. That's what I just thought of. Alright, password. So this is meant to be an insecure environment, so let me think of a weak password. Actually, I might just make it admin. Let me see if I can get away with doing that. I wonder what the password complexity is. Okay, so admin 123 $. Admin 123 $. Oh, admin 123 $. my grade A passwords. Alright, let's get in here. So control alt delete up. And now admin 123 $. Perfect. Now you guys about to see what Windows 2025 servers look like. Not really expecting much of a difference from 2022, but you know, who knows? No, don't send me. Don't. Quiet on me. I was trying to get more information out of me. What more do you want? Gonna minimize that. So I can still trying to get a hold of the network. Does that. Go to the control panel. So I can be ready to set this up once it grabs that information. To see what it has right now. So what I'm doing now, config. I see that it's not even connected to the internet, so I might have to change some of its. Oh no, okay. So I'll probably just keep it as this preferred one. So let's do that. To change this to the I got to change the last two here. So last two, but the third ox heads if you don't mind. And then 2 168 181 and 2. Then we shall press OK. Small errors, man. Sometimes you miss them. Alright, I think I'll do 57. See? Alright, now we have a static IP address. Alright, for right now, let's see if I can open another one. Ooh, alright. Now let's create a new virtual machine. Like I said, this is going to be the workstation that is going to connect to this first domain. But I want to create it first before I made this server into an Active Directory server. Boom. Let's browse here. This time use this one. Alright, and since we have Windows 11, we have to choose this option here. Next. Location. Oh wait, where did I choose? This one. Okay, good. Location. Next, finish up. Alright, and then from here, where is that from? Let me rename this to first station. Press OK, and let's start it up. I might have missed time to click. Let me try this again. Now when it asks you to hit any key to boot, you just have to hit the key. Or any key. I just forgot that time. Be all ready for some hacking. There it is. Just taking its sweet time. But actually what I'll do after I set the domain controller up as well, after I set up the server as a domain controller, I might end the video here and then create the users in another video. That one might be a lot quicker and shorter. I do not have a product here. Hopefully that doesn't. Okay, I might end it here and pick up later because it is late on my side. But what I'll probably end up doing is getting Win 10 and then trying with that instead. Whew, okay, we're back from yesterday. So where we left off, we were installing the workstation machine. You know, I usually would push through something like that, but something came over me called sleep. Apparently it's necessary, but we're gonna hop right back into it. So last time we left off, let me start sharing the screen. It wouldn't go through because I don't think this PC is actually equipped for Windows 11. So what we're gonna do is edit this and make it a Windows 10 ISO that it's installing from. And let's see what happens from here. Now we're gonna play it. Remember, click inside of it. You actually gotta click a button after the fact. Alright, let's boot ya. Always gotta be limber. No, I can't be setting up hacking boxes while being stiff, you know. You know, I'm super excited for this. You know, I feel like just going through the day, I've been thinking about doing this for a while. So to be able to set this up, get some hacks in, beautiful, man. And there you are. Alright, let's click on next. Let's install you now. Now I bet you're not gonna have any more errors, right? So we don't need a product key. I wanna have the Pro. Let's go next. Let's see if it tries me again. See, that's how you learn from your mistakes. Let's go ahead and accept without reading, you know, normal human things. Yeah, why not? Oh. Sorry guys, I don't think I read for it. Let me see. I don't have a product key. Go to Pro. Then same thing. Yeah, I wasn't reading before, guys. That's on me. But it's getting set up now. It usually takes a little bit of time. Hopefully it goes a little. Sometimes the world just likes to prove you wrong. So sometimes just lie on it and see what happens. See, and now it's proving me right. So I guess we'll see what happens. I'm gonna whittle our thumbs for a little bit. Figure out what happens. Alright, looks like we finally made it to the next stage. So Windows is actually starting up on here. Took a while, but we're here. Almost fell asleep a few times on how long it took. Alright, I'm back like I never left. So let's continue to set up here. So surprise, surprise, I'm in the US. Yeah, seems about right. No. Okay, if that's the case, I think there's a way for me to set the network adapter. To my actual network as well. No, actually, I think this will do. It's okay. I might have to restart. Hopefully it doesn't take forever to load up, so I'm gonna close this here. Oh, wait. No, same thing. Okay, let's do it. Close. Power off. Let's see what the first workstation looks like. Do this again, see if it works properly. I'm assuming it's working because we didn't even make it this far last time. Now they have the important setup to do. So now let's just wait on them. Hopefully it doesn't take too long.
actually open up the domain controller as well, because we're gonna need that to actually connect here. Be back when this is done. Okay, took a long time on my end, but we finally made it. Finally have our workstation set up. Now it's time to finish. Actually, before that, I want to check what address, what subnet this is actually residing on, so I can see if it will be possible to do some setup for the IP address and then for the DNS server to be the actual domain controller, because the domain controller server usually acts as the DNS server for the workstations that are attached to it. So while that's opening, let's actually open up the other the actual intended domain controller. Then might start setting that up while this loads up. Let's cancel this. I had to do a good amount of restarts to get this up and running. Hopefully you guys appreciate it. So what I am going to do now is actually click on this add roles and features. Click on next. Leave that on role based and feature based installation. Now you pretty much leave this the exact same. Click on next. Now here's where you click on Active Directory domain server, domain services, then add the features, then click on next. Here you just keep on going, so click on next, and then just install. I'll actually go ahead and restart the destination server. Yes, and then install it. Now it's going to download the things that this server will need to actually become a domain controller. Let's see what's happening in the workstation. Alright, finally got in. Yeah, I'm trying to type in here. It looks like it's moving pretty slowly. I do think it only has 4 gigs of RAM, but I thought that would be more than enough for this. PS4 gives. It's very interesting how on one side one's moving so slow and the other moving very fast. Oh, don't be surprised if the domain server actually, the domain controller actually restarts. Right now I want to get some information on this server here. Then we'll say yes. Alright, now goes to command prompt. Ah, okay. I guess that makes more sense as to why it's moving so slowly. Oh, alright, let's close this. I thought it would restart by itself. Maybe I have to close this first and then it will restart. Or maybe it just didn't require a restart. Alright, let's keep it going here. All I want to find out is your information. So talk to me. Okay, I think I clicked answer. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. Okay, and I'm guessing this is because it's bridged. So let me actually make this net and see how that goes. Actually, there's one last step, I'm pretty sure. And then promote this server to a domain controller. I don't know, I almost forgot about that one. The domain, I think we'll just call it first domain.com. I think we're just the administrator. Figure out the networking stuff. Well, I'm gonna figure this out later because I am getting tired. Like I said, you wouldn't believe it. It actually took hours for the workstation to come up. Like hours. But we'll deal with this at a later time. So I'll see you guys soon. Alright guys, I'm back. So today we're pretty much just gonna end off with creating the domain controller as well as the workstation. So it seems like it's taking a while, and it's because it has, but what we're gonna do now is pretty much finish things off. So here I have the domain controller. Last time I left off, let me pull up the error it was giving me when I tried to promote the server. Then I think oh, this might be on me. So add a new forest. Then we're gonna call this to create a directory service restore mode password. Let's see. Alright, now we're gonna give it, this is exactly what I wanted, so let's go ahead and click on next. This is all fine. Go ahead and click next. I'm good, bro. Alright, now let's install this bad boy. And now you can see it's getting, or it's being promoted to the actual domain controller now. So while this happens, let me go ahead and log into the workstation. It's taking some time. Let me actually do one more thing. Let's minimize this, come back here. I want to double check the IP address, gateway, subnet, all of that good stuff. So now we're back, and this is after the restart. So as you can see, this is at the domain controller server. Here you can see ADSDS, which is Active Directory Domain Services, showing that it is now a domain controller. So what I'm gonna do now, minimize this, then we're gonna get this workstation set up so that it can actually join the domain. So what we're gonna do is actually go to the control panel. Yeah, this might take a bit of time. It's using quite a bit of the resources on my computer, but we'll see how this goes through. Then from here, I'll take the similar steps that we did with the domain controller itself. Go to Network and Internet, Network and Sharing Center. And then from here, we click on Change Adapter Settings. And now this is what we're looking to change. So click here on Properties. You'll probably be prompted for an admin credential, or if you're logged in as admin, just prompted to say yes or something similar to that. Now I'm gonna go here, right click it so that we can go to its properties if I'm not wrong. Or just click on the properties button right there. Then we're gonna use the following IP. Now I have to find out the actual addressing scheme of the domain because I do not remember. IP config. /all. Okay, so 252, that's all I needed. 192.168.181, and then .2. And then I just have to
fill something within that subnet. Cool. So let me actually add everything else first. And then this gives what it do time. Then we'll press OK, close. And now that that's done, once it identifies it, what we'll do is then connect it to the domain. Okay, unidentified network, that's what we wanted. So we're gonna minimize this, close out of here. Let me try to remember. Oh, from this point we go to view advanced settings. Advanced system settings, alright. Click on computer name, then you're gonna want to change it from workgroup to a domain. Also gonna change the computer name to first workstation. Domain will be first. I think it's my first domain. Oh. My bad, I accidentally clicked enter. No. There we go. My first domain.com. Let me actually check that to remember if that was the name I used for first domain, firstdomain.com. My firstdomain.com. My firstdomain.com. Okay. Let's cancel for right now. Press OK. Now I just want to see this configuration, see what it sees. Now let me go see myfirstdomain.com. Okay, 57.2. Okay, is there something I'm missing here? Yeah, right now I can't see anything. Make sure I'm not just dumb or something. what's going on here. Let me see. Go back to here. First domain. Everything looks right. We're gonna go to network and internet. This is on the domain controller, trying to see what could be happening here. Properties. Is it because of the DNS server? No, that doesn't make sense. Let me see if let me see if this can actually ping this in the domain. Might be wrong. Okay, can we make it there? Okay, can't reach the gateway. Let me see. Can you reach the gateway? Okay, so the issue is that the gateway can't be reached, probably because of how I have set this up, so I might have to make a change here. Let me see something. Settings. Okay, I want this to be bridged and connected to the physical network. That way it is getting some form of internet connection. Now I believe I will have to obtain an IP address automatically for right now, and then I'll change it in a quick second. See why I do that soon. Just gotta wait to see once it, there we go. Okay, ipconfig/on. Okay, so we have 10.0.0.58. So that is what we're gonna switch the IP address of the domain controller to. That way, there will actually be a gateway for it to reach. Let's actually test that it can reach this first. So boom, boom. Okay, boom, so it can. So now that we are certain of that, let us make this the IP address and the gateway for the domain controller. Sorry if I'm not speaking as clearly. I'm trying to focus and my mind is thinking too. Alright, but 10, I thought tab would take it across. 10, 0, let's hear that. 58. This will be, I keep tabbing. 255, 255, and we're done there. 1. And then okay. This is fine. Now we're done. Closed it. This is not the IP address of our this is not the IP address of our domain controller. So let us do ipconfig all to verify that. There it is. Okay. Now what we're gonna have to do is go to the workstation and change its IP address as well. So I believe the setting is already connected to be bridged. Perfect. Okay, now this is how we're gonna do this, same way as the other one. We are now gonna come here, properties, set its IP address. Now it can honestly be automatic, but I'm still just gonna set it manual. So 10, 0, 0. I'll leave it at 10, that's cool. This one would be 10, 0, got to delete it first. 0, 0, close this. We're gonna check to see if it can ping that gateway. If it can, that means it should be able to now reach not only the internet, but it should also be able to reach the domain controller once it actually sets itself. Let me go see if it's doing that now. Did I type information in wrong? Let me see. Properties. Okay. And let's go here and check. Okay, that looks right. Yep. Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna minimize you. Gonna come here. IP config/all. Let's see if it actually took. Okay, it looks like it did. Now we're gonna try to ping 0.0.1. Boom, it's able to reach that. Now we want to ping, was it 58? That's gonna be the domain controller. Yes, it is. All right, let's do it. Okay, it looks like it's able to get from there too. Now we can actually add it to the domain. So I'm gonna change this, come up here, my first domain.com. What am I doing here? I think it was just first. Oh, is it not typing like, do you not like me? First workstation, workstation, and then press OK. Now let's see if it joins correctly. An Active Directory domain controller for domain, my first domain could not be contacted. What? Let me click on details. Maybe it'll show me some more information. Oh, okay, my mistake. So let me cancel this. I am going to add the DNS server, which should be the domain controller. Once I do that, maybe this should fix the issue. So use the following addresses. We're going to do 10.0.0.58. Don't press OK. See if that makes a difference here. OK. Good. Okay. Now I do believe it's ipconfig/flush DNS. Oh, I forgot the restore DNS. So ipconfig/flush DNS, ipconfig. What is that actually? Flush DNS. There's something else to do after you flushed it together to take a new one. I'm blanking on it right now. So let's see. DNS commands. Let's see. Display DNS. Not really what I'm looking for. Flush. It's register DNS. Okay, just gonna remember that. I have to get register. Oh, alright, let's do this. Then we'll run this as an administrator. Then click on yes. And now config/flush DNS. Then register DNS.
this allows us to join. Let me just double check its settings again. Cool. Just want to make sure that everything here makes sense, and then okay. From here, what am I doing? Try this again. Change. Then domain. My first domain. Oh, I spelled that one wrong. Domain.com. There it is. Alright, now let me see. What is the, I think it's just administrator. Then actually, let's click on home and do my first domain / administrators. And then we use that super secure admin password that we all know. Admin123$. Boom, and now we're part of the domain. Okay. And then it should prompt us to restart, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. There it is. Okay. We'll close this. Then we'll go ahead and restart this. While that's happening, I'm gonna be honest, this should not have taken that long. It's because it's been a while since I've used the VMware player. So the way I remember it, especially dealing with internet connection, is vastly different than what it was. So what I had to end up doing is bridging it with my actual internet, my actual network adapters that provided it with internet, and then from there it could actually reach a specific gateway. But with that being said, we have now joined the domain. We have now created a domain controller as well as joined a workstation to the domain. Now I'm gonna stop it right here. My intention was to create a video with how to create users as well in the same video, and actually I'll show you quickly how to make users manually, but in my next video I'm gonna show you how to automate creating users using JSON. Like I said, shout out to John Hammond, he's a huge inspiration for that video, but I'll show you how you can quickly create users for your domain in the actual domain controller. So while this is loading up, let's go to my first domain. Now to do this, you have to search Active Directory, users and computers. You can run it as an administrator. So boom, here we have our first domain, and then the built-in OUs. So from here, what I'm gonna do first is create an OU specifically for this environment. So let's click on this, let's do a new. Oh, here it is. I was looking for it. I was like, where is it? But all right, this is gonna be AD practice environment. And now this OU is created. Now from here, gonna make a subsection, an OU within this OU, and it's going to simply be called users or AD users, because there's already AD users. And this right here is where you can create users. So to create a new user, you can simply click on this button right here, create a new user in the current container, give it a first or last name. Everyone loves that first name of Bob, last name, I don't know,
Bob Mitchell. And most domains have most domains have interesting ways that they store a user login. Sometimes it'll be like first initial last name. Sometimes it will be first name last name, or first name dot last name, first initial dot last name. But for this video, we are just going to make it first initial last name. So B Mitchell, click on next, and then we create a password for B Mitchell. I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna make it something that I know is in a password list, an exposed password list, so that we can actually use this to test some of the enumeration processes, because password does not meet password policy requirement. Okay, they got me, I can't do that. Alright, so we're gonna make it even better. Password 123 exclamation point. Password 123 exclamation point. Next, and finish. Boom. This is how you create a user using the Active Directory users and computer component of the Active Directory domain services. Now, this is a simple way to do it, but what if happens if you have a whole bunch of users that you want to import at once, and now you're trying to look for a way that you can do so quickly and in an automated fashion? That is what we're going to look at in the next video. Not only that, we'll also be going over how to add computers. Well, we just added a computer. Actually, if we go look here, boom, this is actually the computer we just added. But how to not add a computer, then add groups and add users, and how to do that in an automated fashion using JSON and some PowerShell. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, embarrassingly so, it was low-key a lot longer than it should have been. A lot of that was the setup of the actual environment, and then problems with the VM workstation player, but we've gotten through it, and now we do have an Active Directory environment, although a small one, to work on. And now from here we can continue to build out ways to attack it, and then build out other ways to defend it, so that as we continue to advance, our attacks become more advanced as well. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, this one actually took a toll on me, a few days. You guys don't need to know that, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you like the video, like the video. If you dislike the video, tell me why you dislike the video, and like the video anyway. Don't forget to subscribe to show your support. And not only that, I'll be coming back with future videos. If I don't, hold me to it, tell me in the comments so that I can actually get on top of it. But finally, without further ado, I just thank you guys for your time, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Novice out. Peace.